Sergeant, if you are here, I presume Wyrm's Rock is secure, and preparations for my inauguration are complete.
No, Lord Gortash. We were interrupted. Another quake in the lower city. More severe this time.
So you came cowering to my chambers? I'm flattered, Sergeant. But even I cannot command natural phenomena to cease.
Forgive me, my lord, but there is panic in the streets. The people are afraid.
Perhaps the people would be calm if you kept your nerve. I expect better from the flaming fist than to run scared from a slight tremor in the earth. Get back to your duties.
Duties, duties, duties. Patrolling and saluting and following and bowing and scraping. Yes, sir. No, sir. Rip and cut your throat, sir.
Your plan is falling apart, lordling. Give me a reason not to cut you to ribbons.
Control yourself, Orin. We need to focus on reuniting the stones or the brain will break free. These quakes are just the start. Neither of us expected the prism bearers to kill Ketheric. They'll be traveling to the city. Let's make sure we give them a Baldurian welcome.
My prodigal bloodkin is among them.
They live?
Barely. I made mince of their ugly mind matter. And if they dare return, I will strip out their offal.
Beyond the campsite, the city waits in uneasy silence, one sleep away.
Shadowheart has found a little bit of herself again. Selûne cannot take all of the credit. She may have lit the way, but it is the cleric who took this step. That speaks well of your taste. I've heard my share of bad ballads about things I never did. If you have questions, ask. Just don't expect my answers to rhyme. It was Baal alone we faced in our time. And bad as that was, he had no elder brain for a lapdog then. Help won't come from the history books, or from any old tales I can spin you. This is your story to write. There. Have I fulfilled my role as your wise and wizened elder? Don't tell me which. Against all life experience, I will choose to assume the best. Ask it. More than I would like. In my youth, I was a brief and very much unwilling member of a colony's hive mind. I felt the way they think, saw the world as they do. Foul, unnatural creatures who find the foulness in us and twist it to their will. But then, who am I speaking to? You have far more experience than I. I believe you. You remind me of another I knew, marked by forces beyond their control. The gods can grant power or strip it away, but so long as your will remains, you have the only weapon you need.
Painful truths have been thrust upon Shadowheart. I believe she is strong enough to endure, but her path will be easier with our support. I've been unfair to you. I've had unrealistic expectations of your character ever since I joined you. But honestly, you've surpassed even those. Seemed my faith was more than well-founded.
The gate is closed, as is Cazador. Cazador and his rite of profane ascension. An imperial soiree, attended by devils and spawn alike. A grand ceremony to honor one exalted vampiric master. And elevate him to an unfathomable station. To place him in a position of such esteem. The world will yearn to kneel and offer their necks. Of course I envy him. Why wouldn't I? The problem with what Cazador has done is that he did it to me. If the time comes and I can stay one move ahead of him, I'll take his place before his blood can hit the floor. What's a handful of the wretch's servants? If they're anything like me when I was enslaved, they're all but begging for death anyway. After 200 years of shit, pure shit! I think I deserve something better. All I'm saying is, let's be clever about it. If an opportunity arises for me to become a more magnificent bastard than I already am, why turn it down? Let's find out more about the ritual before we waltz into Cazador's front door. If we track down my old comrades, the other spawn, we may discover more and be finally positioned for yours truly to ascend. If we don't find my brethren, they'll find us, likely with bared fangs. We should get to them first. Then we can make their pretty tongues talk. Unless Cazador has changed their orders, they'll be in the dens of this town, seeking prey.
The events of the last days weigh heavily upon you. Sleep's rest is slow to come to one whose mind is so full. The Absolute is not a god, but an elder brain controlled by the chosen of the Dead Three. They mean to use it to take control of the Sword Coast. All who carry the tadpole are governed by the brain, and by extension the chosen. It will take but one order to transform them into an army of mind flayers. This would have been your fate too, were it not for the astral prison and the mysterious visitor inside of it. With his help, you have uncovered the cult for what it really is. A plan of conquest, orchestrated by the gods of death themselves. Together, you have the power to thwart the Dead Three. If you follow this path to its end, the Elder Brain will not answer to the Chosen. It will answer to you. And what then? You are prone to impulses as uncontrollable as the gods themselves. Will you even have a say in what you do? Will you liberate the true souls from their parasites and their religious delusions? Or will you use the power you gain for your own purposes? Right now, your resolve feels firm, but there is no knowing how you will feel when the moment comes. You will not have long to wait. All you need to do now is sleep. but sleep is not for you.
Hear me. Gather. The reckoning is upon us. The city thirsts for domination. March. Join power.
Guards, any moment now, that orb is going to explode.
Before you do anything, I am your ally. We are in danger. The Githyanki is the source of our protection against the Absolute. I must subdue him, or everything we've worked towards is lost. Don't let my form deceive you. I am the one that's been protecting you. I am the one that came to you in your dreams. Help me. The Honor Guard. Eliminate them. My forces are weakened by their assault, but with your help, we can turn this around. Destroy the Guard. I will subdue their master. Together, we can turn the tide. Thank you. That was too close. Don't look at me like that. I am a mind flayer, yes. Without me, you would be a slave to the Absolute.
Of all the things to be indebted to, a bloody mind flayer.
It was necessary. Rare are those that would openly consider a partnership with a mind flayer. Even those who are on a path of becoming one. I was someone once. Someone just like you. An adventurer. I came from Baldur's Gate, though I was never one to be constrained by circumstance. I longed for more. That longing brought me to Moonrise Towers on a search for treasure. To a colony of mind flayers who caught me, changed me into what I am now. years, I served the Elder Brain. The one you know as the Absolute. I was a thrall like any other, but I was fortunate. I broke free and started a new life in my old city. I sustained myself on criminals. Unglamorous, but there are plenty of them, rarely missed. And they fueled me while I did my work. I had the good fortune to meet Duke Stelmane. We formed a partnership, and through her, I became the governing force behind the Knights of the Shield, the largest mercantile operation in Baldur's Gate. People referred to me as the Emperor. Such was my influence, though of course they had no idea what I really was. My needs were sated. I was happy for a while, until my true nature was discovered by the tyrant himself, Lord Gortash. He tore me from my home and brought me back to the Brain, where I became a slave once again. A slave he continued to call the Emperor. The name was intended as a slight, to remind me of the heights from which I fell. But I have grown fond of it. It encapsulates well who I've become. We fought to tame Prince Orpheus, the son of Gith herself. His power has been the source of your continued protection against the voice of the Absolute. The power to disrupt hive mind communication. It is the same power that enabled Orpheus's mother to bring about the fall of the Illithid Empire eons ago. A power she passed on to him, and that I leveraged for you. When Orpheus's mother left, a usurper took her place. Blackith declared herself queen of the Githyanki. Blackith wanted his power, but Orpheus rose against her, and so she sealed him and his honor guard within this prison. Bound by infernal chains, Orpheus could never leave. Bound by duty, his guard never would. They were close to breaking my hold on that prince. And if they had succeeded, we would be lost. I am relieved. You have embraced your potential enough that you could help me eliminate them. Alone, Orpheus will be much easier to control. Most certainly Orpheus. He is a threat to her reign. Some Githyanki still revere him in defiance of their teachings. Blackith was safe as long as they believed him to be dead. But as you can see, he is very much alive. She kept him this way because she was reluctant to eradicate such power. Power that she might one day wish to take from him. If the Githyanki ever find out what she has done, there will be civil war. Blackith will be finished. No. Gortash sent me on a mission to retrieve the Astral Prism. I was one of many, but the first to find it. How Gortash or the other Chosen learned of its existence, I do not know. The moment I found it, I felt a change. My free will returning. I followed the feeling inside, and found Orpheus. I realized what the prism was for. Containment. While my body was within the prism's bounds, my mind was free. I could resist the Elder Brain, the Chosen. Better yet, I could plan to overthrow them. All I needed to do was subdue Orpheus and find allies in the outer world. You. That would be a terrible idea. The moment he is free, he will attack you. Your only defense would be to kill him, and in so doing, you would doom us both.
Even though he is subdued, you feel Orpheus's revulsion, a pulsing hatred that cannot be contained. The Emperor is telling the truth. To him, you are just another wretched illithid.
You carry a tadpole. As far as Orpheus is concerned, you are already a Lithid, a sworn enemy, just like me. I appreciate that, but this is what I am. My original body was destroyed when I transformed. When I first escaped the Elder Brain, I searched for a new vessel, but the longer I inhabited this one, the more it grew on me. I realized that returning to my former self would only impose limitations. Any advantage I could gain by restoring my original appearance, I already had to hand in the form of magic, and that humanoid shape you've come to know. As an illithid, I have far surpassed who I ever was before. You, too, should embrace this change. Like it or not, our chances of defeating the Elder Brain are substantially improved if you embrace your latent illithid potential. I've been studying you for a while now. I believe I can trigger the next stage of your tadpole's life cycle, while continuing to preserve your independence. You have seen what I can do. Imagine yourself with the same strength, the same intelligence, the same devastating beauty. If you let me, I can evolve you. The answer is twofold. One, I can, but it would kill you, as I told you before. Two, why would I? You have done well with the limited form you have, but you would do far better as an illithid. So, do you wish to evolve or not? I understand. Let us hope then that your present self will be sufficient to deal with 3 gods of death and a giant magically enhanced Elder Brain. But in case you change your mind... look after it. Use it when you're ready to evolve. You or your allies. It has vitality enough for you all. But we mustn't lose focus. We need to resume our journey. You heard the Chosen. The Brain has gone to the city, and the army marches to follow. We must not let them reach it. We must find the Brain, and bring it under our control.
So, there's been a mind flayer inside the artifact, or astral prism, the whole time we've had it. Sounds like utter madness, even though I've seen it with my own eyes. The more I learn, the less I understand just why I was sent to retrieve that thing. But it matters little now. I do not serve Shah anymore, nor the Mother Superior. The prism is no longer my mission. Saving my parents is. But I digress. Did you want something?
By Baldur's bones, this is a lot to take in. Let's see if I've got this right. 1, we've been carrying a mind flayer around with us this whole time. 2, it's been appearing as someone else in our dreams, cajoling us to embrace our new illithid talents. 3, the mind flayer's been siphoning a Githyanki prisoner's powers to shield us from the Absolute's voice. Did I miss anything? How could I forget? One of Baldur's Gate's most distinguished figures, a mind flayer's ally. Sensational tales, aren't they? Almost unbelievable. With a narrator so unreliable, how do we tell fact from fiction? I can't pretend I have the answer, but I know the illithid's right about one thing. It holds our fates in its talons. Until the Absolute falls, there's no getting rid of it.
So, we owe our lack of tentacles to one of the very creatures that kidnapped us. And now it's offering us power if we're willing to evolve.
Be honest. What do you think of the new look? I'm glad. Though, I don't think I'm quite done with the past yet. Not until I've been to Baldur's Gate.
Best be on my way.
Your parasite communes with Lae'zel's. Her heart races as she learns of the events inside the astral prism.
Orpheus, Gith's only son. He lives. It is not the Geich visitor that Vlaakith would destroy and Voss would set free. It is Orpheus, the blood of the mother, the prince of the comet. Listen close. The Emperor spoke only in half-truths. For you to know the tale of Orpheus, you must know the tale of Gith and of Vlaakith. Long ago, when we rose up against our Geich slavers, Mother Gith made for the Hells to secure an alliance with the Archdevil Tiamat. Tiamat gifted the Githyanki our red dragons. Gith remained in the Hells, and Tiamat's envoy proclaimed Vlaakith our ruler. The first Vlaakith of many. It is Vlaakith 157 whom my people now call Queen. Our current Vlaakith has claimed undeath and reigned for 1,000 years. But it was the first whom Orpheus tried to slay. Orpheus is Gith's only son. He led his mother's own honor guard in a coup against Vlaakith I. It was Kithrak Voss himself who slayed the prince in vicious battle, or so the Varshis teach us. Yet the Prince of the Comet's been with us, subdued by that repugnant Illithid. Should Orpheus go free, he would tear Vlaakith's empire to pieces and build new glory from the scraps. The seed and the sower. Every word Voss spoke, he spoke true. Orpheus is the living proof of the Queen's lies, and the living weapon that conquered our Geich slavers. One word from his lips, and the people would doubt. 2 words, and they would rage. 3 words, and they would bow to the true heir. If the Githyanki are to be free, the Prince of the Comet must lead the way. What about him? The historical slates describe Orpheus as a fearsome, terrible creature, powerful beyond measure, and enthralled by the Geich. So mad with power, he'd smash through the Githyanki Empire and deliver the shards to his Illithid masters. And glowing with such psionic force that he and his red dragon blazed a trail through the skies. A lethal comet careening towards my people. Lies, of course. Vlaakith spread a false image of Orpheus as monstrous betrayer, and her knights as the butchers who sliced him through. She was right to fear him, I'll grant her that. So great is the comet, it could shatter her reign. The Emperor may be loathsome, but it's right. Orpheus can disrupt a gay hive mind. A talent like that makes the prince a powerful shield and a powerful weapon. Why destroy a weapon like that when you can contain it in a relic and keep it for yourself? A weapon is only an asset for as long as it isn't pointed at you. The means of Vlaakith's own end has been ripped away from her. Better to have Orpheus killed than to risk his escape. Better to risk the rise of Illithids than let the Prince of the Comet deny her the godhood she craves. Orpheus is honor guard, loyal to the end. Trapped by Vlaakith in the same prism holding their noble prince, fruitlessly hacking at the sphere that contains him. They see us as Geich, tadpoled husks in the Emperor's thrall. I regret their deaths, but I pledge to live as they perished, in the service of Gith's son. Very well.
You saw Gortash, didn't you? What the fuck was he doing down there? Is all of this because of him? The tadpole, the absolute. How? I'd never have protected a Bay Knight even a decade ago. I looked after that fucker with my life. I trusted him. He gave me away to Zariel without a second thought. And now he's looking to ruin the entire Sword Coast. He has to die. And I'm gonna be the one who kills him. He can't get away with what he's done. To me. To us. He won't get away with it.
Love Shadowheart's new look. Softer, less severe. It suits her.
How much further can I go?
Shadowheart walks a little freer of the shadows. She could shave her skull and paint it purple. It would still suit her.
Thirst in my heart.
I was concerned when I saw Shadowheart creeping about with a blade in the dead of night, but it was just to cut her hair, it seems. It suits her.
There's no more radiant sight than that of someone who's learned to love themselves anew. Shadowed in name, but no longer in spirit. It suits her.
Oh, we have a new look for a new Shadowheart. Nice as it is, she still doesn't have the best hair in the camp.
Something is different about Shadowheart. New facial creases, perhaps. A fresh battle scar I hadn't noticed. Bah, it eludes me.
Gods, Shadowheart looks like a stack of gold. Never thought I could get so excited about someone's forehead, but here we are.
Have established themselves and take their nether stones.
Waiting for my return. We should do what we can to find them. What they know could help us. Wyrm's Crossing. We could be inside the city walls before long. And I could be back where this all started. I hope so. So long as I'm willing to stroll right into the Mother Superior's trap, they have no reason to not tell me where to go. Wyrm's Crossing is a choke point. If I wanted to intercept a new arrival, I'd find somewhere before the bridge, blend in amongst the crowds, and wait. Most people seeking entry to the city will be refugees. I'd look wherever they're gathering.
Wyrm's Crossing, the welcome mat of Baldur's Gate. This is it. I'm almost home. I won't lie. The thought hardly fills me with glee. Even with my newfound advantages, he's still an incredibly powerful vampire. But he's arrogant, too. If he does hear I'm back, he'll try to take me and expose himself in the process. Then I'll be able to strike. Neither will I, darling. At least I hope you'll come along for the show. But regardless, the plan is simple. Find him, stop him from gaining almighty power, and then really enjoy killing him. And if I can seize that almighty power for myself, well, all the better.
Wyrm's Crossing, the gaping maw of the city. Nature has little control over what happens beyond that bridge. I have. He speaks to me during my nightly meditations. He is well, and Oliver also. At times they are one, and at others they divide. Easier for playing, perhaps. And the land thrives also. I doubt you would recognize it. Perhaps one day, you and I can both return and see it for ourselves.
Excuse me. I can't find my mum. She was sick. She had spots on her face and hands. She went to go get some herbs, and she was supposed to come back the same day. That was last 10 day, though. Oh, thank you so much. I don't have anything, and you can't do anything without any coin. I'll pay you back when I find my mum.
I just lost a wager, thanks to you.
Who are you?
Someone who bet that you'd never be foolish enough to actually show your face in this city again. But here you are. And the gold in my purse is soon to take flight. There have been whispers about you, sister. About your faith, your loyalty. I can't help but feel the strangest twinge of disgust as I look upon you. Is it true? Has Our Lady forsaken you?
I know the truth. I know my parents still live. Tell me where they are, and I have no quarrel with you.
I'm afraid the quarrel is unavoidable, thanks to you. Now I must report your reappearance. If you are intent on bringing matters to a head, then seek out the House of Grief in the lower city. Though, if I was you, I'd be very tempted to just forget it all and disappear. You have some form at doing so, after all.
Baldurians! Stand with me against this tide that threatens to overwhelm us!
Please just go home. You're ruining a perfectly uneventful posting with this nonsense.
The Flaming Fists are supposed to protect this good city, but they allow trash and vermin to take our homes and goods. Ah, another visitor, I see. Listen, we keep letting the likes of you in, soon there'll be no room left for any of us true Baldurians.
I thought cities were supposed to welcome folk of all walks of life. Clearly, I was mistaken.
Another bleeding heart. Piss off and take it elsewhere.
I'm not paid to debate with civilians.
No, we pay taxes to protect us, not these intruders.
Griselda?
Oh, the gods truly disappointed.
I wish the cult hadn't burnt our farm, though. At least we got the Scotty out that burn.
Heads will roll for this. This transgression. This injustice. Oh, you poor, naive soul. Let me tell you a story. A perfectly respectable businessman wants to bring his, well, business into this fine city. And what do? They talk some absolute horse bollocks about papers and correct filing procedures and threw me in this slum.
Imagine upending someone's life in the name of bureaucracy. People are out of touch here.
I should be loins deep in Sharess's caress by now, not waddling about in filth.
All these people fleeing for their lives.
We've got to get Grunch into the city, but he's in no shape to travel. I wonder, what if we hit him in a big barrel and nailed it shut? Nah. Don't know how we're gonna get Grunch into the city, wounded as he is. But we have to.
Whatever you need, I can't help you. Even talking is painful right now.
After a quick examination, you conclude that your patient is pretending to be wounded. You wonder why.
Really? This isn't necessary. I'm sure there are other people that need your help more urgently. Shh, not so loud. If those lads find out I'm faking, they might go off on their own. They're not ready for that. And frankly, I'd miss them. I don't really have any other friends. And I like those lads. So I think I'll stick around a while more.
They got me signed up to learn to make pots, which is dumb. I'd rather learn how to kill cultists. And I bet you'd back me up on that.
I should speak up.
I'm really worried about Umi.
Even if we only have tankers of river water to raise.
What a sad situation.
The once proud tieflings of Elturel. Reduced to beggars.
So, you survived. That's more than many of my kin can say. It's mainly anger that keeps me going. Zevlor was supposed to lead us, but he froze when we needed him most. I haven't seen him since the massacre on the road, which is lucky for him. We made it alive to Baldur's Gate. Almost, anyway. But I can't complain. When I look at Bex and realize she's safe, it's hard not to weep from joy.
We made it through hell. Twice. I know now that as long as Danis and I stick together, we can do anything.
You did me a real favor clearing all those ghouls out of Moonrise. That old bonebag Ketherick had some fancy junk stashed behind all the cobwebs and piles of gore. Wish I could tell you. We're stuck out here, but most of the action is beyond Wyrm's Crossing. Didn't you? Figured we only got the scraps you didn't have the strength to carry. Would I try to fool a sharpie like you? Have a look. Stay away from trapped chests.
Oh, hi! If you're here to save me again, I don't really need to be saved right now. Good thing, huh? Bye.
Rechtei Hathran Rust.
My friend from the Hag Swamp. You join us as we honor our fallen dead. You're a bright light on a dark day. Even you, my erstwhile quarry.
Oh, hello again.
Frey Valdiskdurovna. Frey Valdiskablast.
I feel we're intruding. We should leave quickly.
Calm yourself. You will not be harmed. Our leader has called off the hunt. She wishes to speak to you.
Im orak nete. Trasinnetra. So, the impossible spawn walks among us in the blazing sun. We have been looking for you. The last time your friend came to our camp, he stole our children, our future.
When I was hunting you, I was to bring you back here, interrogate you, discover how to save our children, and then destroy you.
But things have changed. You have changed. Is it true you left your master? That you broke the spell that binds you to him?
Well, I mean, kind of. It's a long story, honestly.
Free. Not while his master still lives. But he has, perhaps, earned a second chance. We have tried to save our children once already, attacking Khazad-dûr'Zar's palace at first light. Even then, it was too well defended. But if his own spawn approached, someone he thought he could control, he would throw his doors open and welcome you in. And once inside, you could do what we could not. You could save the children you damned.
You don't know Khazad-dûr like I do. He's merciless. You want me to march into the lion's den and save your children? But I promise you, they're already dead. I spent 200 years bringing him victims. Each and every one was whisked away to be fed on that night.
But you never saw him feed yourself. He could keep prisoners for days before killing them.
I know our plight is grim, but if there is even a chance to save them, we must take it.
If our children are truly gone, then we ask for blood. I know you can understand that, Spawn.
God damn it. Fine. If nothing else, at least killing Cazador will feel good.
Thank you. From me and all my people. If you can do this, we will be in your debt. You have lived a life of violence and sin. You have stolen lives, broken families, and caused immeasurable grief. Doing this will not right those wrongs.
If you're trying to encourage me, you're failing abysmally.
But it will be a start. You may still be redeemed. Please go. Time is short, but we will see you again when it is done.
Before you lies the unconscious body of a mind flayer, glistening and raw.
A newborn. Unattended. How fortunate. Oh, but it is. This one has only just transformed. It is weak, vulnerable. Its potential ripe for harvesting. Go on. Kill it. Absorb its power.
Come no closer, you. You. What are you? What am I sensing? You are like me. Like I was. A vessel yet to transform. Help me. I am so hungry. My vessel. He fought the transformation. He found it excoriating. I can still taste his terror. It is delicious, but will not sustain me. We need to feed. We need a brain fresh and frantic to restore our strength. Very well, kin. I shall dine on you.
Welcome, adventurer. I take it you're new to Rivington. No doubt you came here to choose from my fine selection of weapons. Yes, I seem to have it all. Clubs, swords, maces, bows, cutting and gutting galore. Why don't we see if we can find the perfect weapon for you? I provide a personalized service for my customers to make sure the weapon I choose is the perfect fit. Tell me, how do you like to kill? Oh, good answer. Killing is so much more satisfying when you really mean it. And when you kill someone, what do you feel? killing holds no fear for you, does it? You understand what it takes and what it gives. One more question, if you'll humour me. Do you think you could turn your weapon on those closest to you? You deny yourself, but it won't last. It's in your blood.
Look at it, come crawling home, hands stained with the Bone Lord's soot. And you carry his stone. Weak and soft and broken. Oh, sweet sibling, the world has dulled you. Or maybe I poked your mind matter too sharply. I could end it now. But I'll be patient. Father will see us together again. He will see you bleed.
So Orin is a shapeshifter. How long has she been watching?
You! Try attacking me when my back isn't turned, you bloody coward! Don't dare lie to me. I saw you with my own eyes, grinning at me like some bloody imbecile. I'm gonna knock that smirk right off your face. You know what? Not worth it. Go on, take your thuggery elsewhere, bloody animal.
We do this right. Stay back! You're in my house!
The house was empty.
Not asking for much, just a teensy investment to get me started.
The place was empty. Keep those thugs away from my family.
Danuvia! Get these squatters out of my house now!
Arthur, sweetheart, you paid me and my boys to be caravan guards, not cattle wranglers. If you want us to get our hands dirty, it'd be our pleasure. But that'll be extra.
You shouldn't have to make people feel welcome in places they don't belong. I just want to remove these unlawful interlopers from my property.
My point exactly.
They're like kobolds. You let one in and soon the place will be crawling with them.
This man's indignant demeanor barely masks a seething anxiety. There's more to this situation than he's letting on.
I'm a very magnanimous individual, but this is my home! Either they leave, or I'll make them. Fine. They can stay. Just don't blame me when they turn on you like the mongrels they are.
I respect your hustle, sweetheart, but it won't work on me. You've stepped on the guild's toes, and we'd like a little something to make it better.
The Guild, a loose coalition unifying every criminal outfit in the city under one collective rule, from cut purses to contract killers.
I'd say you'll live to regret it, but honestly, I'm not so sure you'd live. You're serious? Let's forget this unpleasantness ever happened.
Come on, boys. We've got places to be.
Might be worth checking Arthur's donations. Looks like his generosity is compromised.
Donations? Food, sundries, gold. These poor refugee sods need all the help they can get. Thank you. I'm sure your contribution will be greatly appreciated. You, turn around and toddle your way right back out of here. Everything in this barn has been donated for the refugees, not you. Now piss off. You sure? This lot have been through enough without your ignorance. Now are you going to clear off or not? I'm gonna let you through because I don't want to take any risks. But you better not be lying. You were right. Explosives. Now give me some room. I need to make sure the rest of these donations are safe. You try and find whoever is responsible for this.
It's not enough. We have a gallery of villains to look out for, but now we could be infiltrated by a shape changer? I can't even tell if any of you are acting strange because you've been replaced, or because this group is full of weirdos.
Orin's little display was just intended to rattle us. We mustn't let her succeed, but need to stay alert all the same. Then that's where we need to go. My parents are in there somewhere.
That foul shapeshifter Orin is like a scavenger beast, probing us for weaknesses. Do not let her shake your resolve.
Wolf! A charming effort, but you can't fool me. You're not a dog. So what the hell are you doing in my kennels? Found him, did you? I can't say I'm surprised. Gomwick never kept him on a tight leash. Bring him here, and I'll give him a once-over for you. Check him for worms and so on.
Oh, yes, please, I'd love to see him.
He's a good dog. We'd both love to see him again.
Scratch! Oh, it's good to see you, boy!
Shut up, Dringo, and get back to work. And you've been slacking as well, Scratch, my boy. This dog is property of Sword Coast Couriers. I'll take him off your hands now. I can do whatever I please. He's my dog. Now get out. This is a private yard. You'll do no such thing.
It's not just Scratch. She's always hurting the dogs.
Shut your mouth, Dringo. Last warning.
Fine. You think you can do a better job without me? Be my guest. They're a useless bunch of mongrels. You're welcome to them.
You got rid of her? I'll do a better job looking after these dogs than she ever did. I promise. Mistress is gone. Mistress is gone. I mean, such terrible news. She will be missed.
Thank you for making Mistress go away. She was horrid.
It's certainly good to be back at camp. How I've missed the smells. Indeed. And I'm sure Dringo will do a great job. He always took good care of me.
Hello. You are not food. You are friend. Ooh, more. Nice here. The caves smell like rotting meat. Goblin coat smells like goblins. Yes, fun. Ooh, more.
A little wet under the wing for our unit. The commander will soon straighten you out.
I've no need of a wing man. Commander Lightfeather will give you your briefing.
Name and rank? Quickly now! There's a war on! At ease! At ease. I am Commander Lightfeather, leader of the finest aerial communication regiment this side of the Triumpha. State your purpose, Groundwalker. I don't have all day. Because we deliver communications across dangerous enemy territory with only our superior wits and aerial agility to protect us. Even our skills have their limits. We've lost several experienced flyers recently. They knew the risks, but still, damn shame. Intelligence is in short supply, but we know our enemies flanked us on the west side, not one rooftop away. We're avoiding the whole area. I won't lose one more beak to the blighter. If you pass that way, beware the sign of the featherless wings. From that rooftop, none return.
Pigeons are very sensitive. They can't fly straight if they're disturbed.
That symbol on the collar. Gale, is this one yours?
It is! It's Tara! What's she doing all the way out here?
Mr. Dakarios, heavens! Fancy seeing you here.
Tara! That can't be you, can it?
I suppose you won't be terribly shocked to find your old friend Tara amongst the pigeons. They've always been a personal favourite.
My, is that a ring? For us? Ugh, you shouldn't have. Enjoy yourself now, Tara. Looks like you've got yourself set up quite nicely here. She isn't my Tresim. She's my friend. And from the looks of things, it appears she's eating pigeons. Oh, right. Did you hear that, Tara? Stop it.
Well, these must be important birds indeed, Mr. Dakarios. Forgive me for feasting on their bodies and bones so very voraciously.
Oh, she's agreed. Just about.
Welcome to Sword Coast Couriers. To send and to serve. Delivery not guaranteed. I'm alive and well, aren't I? Earning an honest living, serving my community. I've plenty to be happy about. Though, I will admit it's been tough recently. We've had to cut down our courier routes. Too risky with that army rampaging nearby. I'll tell you, it's left me in a right pickle. I've sent what I can by pigeon, but now something's attacking them and all. Become a postmaster, Danzo. It'll be easy. Nobody mentions having to spend your evenings hunting for pigeon carcasses, do they? Thank the gods. Unopened as well. Oh, what a relief. My customers will be most pleased. Please, take this. You've earned it 10 times over.
Gildra? Oh, a customer. Sorry. How can I help you? Yes, that's him. He's usually the first one in, but he's not shown up today. It's not the same without the sound of his bellows in the back. And his stories. He tells the best stories. Do you know him? Oh, that's a shame. You'd like him. He's a living legend. Do you know he's won Best Smith in Rivington 7 years in a row? It's Gildro Angelion, for God's sakes. If you knew how good he was, trust me, you'd feel exactly the same way. Of course. Gildro's finest.
There's blood here, not yet dried. And no sign of the smith.
Gildro? Oh, no. Just you again? How can I help you? What? Don't joke about that. He'll come back. He always does. He's probably just gone to get more coal for the forge or visit one of the ore mines. And no obituary in the Gazette? Impossible. I don't know why you're insisting on spreading these nasty thoughts, but I'll ask you to kindly keep them to yourself. Now, is there anything you'd like to buy? If not, move along. Not for you to worry about in any case. You're a customer. Is there anything I can do for you?
We let more outsiders in and more Baldurians die. Duke Stelmane, Father Lorcan, it's no coincidence.
We have faith here, Bill. Faith in people, no matter where they're from.
Who had more faith than Father Lorcan? How did that work out?
Thank you, stranger. Father Lorgan's passing has saddened us all.
Passing? He was murdered by one of the fugitives he was harboring.
Bill, I beg you, be quiet. Even sinners receive Ilmater's grace, and Father Lorgan knew that. We don't pick and choose who we aid. Thank you, stranger. I take some solace knowing that he died in Ilmater's service.
Does Ilmater's service involve protecting heretic absolutists? Or perhaps I missed that sermon.
Enough, Bill. You seem a kind soul. Our temple is open to you. Walk well.
Look, investigator. Brilgor might have been a criminal, but he was no murderer. You're missing something. You have to be.
Enough, Yanis. Listen to yourself. You are defending a man who ritually slaughtered your high priest. The evidence speaks for itself. Brilgor killed Father Lorgan, then, be it out of shame or profane duty, offed himself with the same blade. Case closed, Sister Yanis.
Shitey little elephant. Oh, I apologize, stranger. Language like that hardly befits a rector of Ilmater. You could certainly say that. 2 people just died on temple grounds. Our high priest, Father Lorgan, and one of the new refugees, Brilgor. Investigator Valeria thinks it's a murder and is content to blame Brilgor, the politically convenient target. Brilgor was a refugee. No one sticks up for them at the best of times, and with Gortash in power, well, I expect the Flaming Fists will ban refugee aid now one of them's blamed for murder. Feel free to look around the temple, but fair warning, the investigator won't change her mind without significant new evidence. Charette's caress would be my best bet. That's her usual haunt after closing a case. I can tell you where to find her, but she won't be very chatty, I'm afraid. Shira passed away last year. Peacefully, mind. We buried her in the crypt under the temple, if you wish to visit. Valeria never found the murder weapon, so that could be a start. Anything disproving the refugee murder-suicide angle, really. I really hope you find something. For all our sakes.
The corpse regards you lifelessly.
Lorgan, Reverend, open hand. Dwarf, dressed in red. Hiding Brilgor from fists. Must protect innocence. Ilmater's will. Took him to the tunnel with the rest. Oh, fool.
The spell's power wanes. You can ask no more questions.
Honored Shira, her spirit hath fled, and her body but merely a husk. Swear I did to shed this foul mania and bestow it upon Shira. She was to endure, to suffer, as was her god Ilmater's wont. Who now shall bear the madness Shah has wrought on me, so I might no longer suffer?
Shall it be thou?
The monk himself holds your answer. Tasha's hideous laughter is a powerful skill, but earning it may come at the cost of wisdom. Your muscles tingle and your mouth twitches as the laughing madness spreads through you. The madness tugs at your mind, prods in places best left untouched. You feel your wisdom begin to drain. You remain wise as ever, even as Shah's madness spreads outward. You giggle, struck by the absurdity of the moment. A spirit hiding inside an amulet has brought you to the body of his granddaughter and possessed it. Outrageous. Ridiculous. Once again, you feel your wisdom draining away. Hilarious. What is it? The urge to laugh dwindles. Though you can't help but chuckle. You withstood the monk's madness and earned Tasha's hideous laughter.
My friend, forgive me, for this mind was not mine own. May laughter be thy gift, never thy curse. The morning Lord calls. Canst thou feel the warmth of his blessing? This is not my final twilight, but a new dawn. Farewell.
The corpse is an empty husk once more. The monk, liberated from madness, is finally at peace.
He's gone. Well, he was always good for a...
My legs. Can't feel them. Tell the others. Let the boss know.
This man is not long for this world.
Stone Lord. He'll sort this. He'll get him.
You hear the blood gurgle in his struggling lungs. His last ounce of strength is spent.
Looks like those two are about to fight.
Nobody messes with the Stone Lord, Rattling.
Nine Fingers sends her love, arsehole. Your Stone Lord's a dead man walking. You, help me kill these asses. The girls will sprinkle you with gold.
You picked the wrong side, cock.
Slice them! Slice them now! You did good, stranger. Someone had tried to slink away rather than get involved. They wouldn't earn the gratitude of the guild. A new flavour of scum that's been muscling in on our business. Agents of the Stone Lord. He's a newcomer to our delightful underworld, and he doesn't play nice with others. We think the Stone Lord and his cronies are in league with the absolute cultists. This little operation here certainly suggests so. They were shifting something valuable by boat, but that something belongs to the guild now. Of course! The guild always rewards good work. Now scram!
Are you trying to get into the city? Got a minute to tell me about your experience at the gate today? There was a skirmish a few days back. A band of absolutists came close to entering the city. People started panicking, so the gate got closed. My editor at the Baldur's Mouth Gazette sent me down to get a first-hand account of the chaos. He wants some fluff piece about the heroic Steel Watch keeping the mob at bay, whether or not that's the truth or not. That the refugees here are desperate, hungry, scared people. They're no mob. They just want to be safe. I've heard the rumours. Absolutists marching from Moonrise Towers. Whole towns felled by strange curses. It's no wonder they ran. Of course, I can't write any of that. My editor only releases stories his friend Lord Gortash approves of, and he's very selective. Oh, they know some of it. Most would rather bury their heads in the sand anyway. Saves them the bother of feeling responsible. I'll try and get the truth across. Who knows? Maybe a line or two will meet Mr. Needle's approval. I won't be holding my breath. Great headline.
Halt! By orders of Lord Gortash, refugees are no longer allowed in the city. Turn around. Or do you have the means to support yourself? Right. Article 30.1.5 of the Council's Decree on Extraordinary Wartime Measures. I am confiscating that. The city thanks you for your contribution. Your name?
Well met, citizen.
Your parasite stirs. From the construct, you feel connection, resonance.
Not just yet. State your business. Uh-huh. Eyes open, body still.
Behind the Watcher's gaze, a presence awakens. You are seen. You are known. Your party's prior transgressions are reflected in its stare, as witnessed by the cult's ever-alert, scrying eyes. It has heard the howls of slaughtered goblins. It has seen the deep shadows of Grimforge, and the stone floors left bloodied. It knows the cold walls of Moonrise Towers, and the cultists who fell there. The Watcher speaks directly into your mind with a voice like poisoned honey.
You are marked for special treatment. Not simply an enemy of the people, but an enemy of the Absolute. Come quietly, or die. Please comply now, citizen. I will interpret any further hesitation as resistance.
Eat this, you pile of junk!
Villains, take heed.
God damn it all!
Recovery is imminent.
Bloody gnomes. We need to find where they burrowed themselves up. You an adventurer? Looking to pad your purse? Find their foxhole, bring me their chief's head. The fist will reward you well. You'll change your mind once they kill innocent citizens. The only language they'll understand is that of intimidating violence.
Then you're no friend of the Fist. No matter. I'll find someone else. Most folks around here will do almost anything. You pay them enough.
The boss is expecting you. Hasn't forgotten what you did for him at Moonrise.
You're back. What happened?
Stop fussing. One of those Gondian scrap heaps waylaid us at the gates is all.
That smell. You used the sun flash grenade?
Ah, there you are. Good. We need to strategize. Wulbrin is planning something. Lots of moving parts. I'm still trying to suss the details myself. I am. I knew him rash, but this is unspeakable. Speak to him. Help him see sense. Someone has to.
I want to have a word.
Good to see you. Wasn't sure you'd make it to the city. Regretting it yet? I spent a lot of time thinking of worst-case scenarios while I was locked in that cell you plucked me out of at Moonrise. I didn't imagine anything as bad as this. The Gondians have handed Enver Gortash the means to bring about the end of liberty in Baldur's Gate. And the citizens have rolled out the red carpet for the new tyrant. Resistance fighters are few and far between. My iron hands, what's left of the Harpers, and you. I hope. As long as our objective is the same, the reason doesn't matter to me. We have a common enemy. But neither of us gets what we want until we deal with our biggest obstacle. The Steel Watch. They're a threat to you, me, and every man, woman, and child in this city. They act all civilized, servants of the people, but they only serve one man. When he becomes Grand Duke, it will only get worse. Laws will change, freedoms will vanish, and soon you'll be accused and sentenced before you've even committed a crime. And the fucking Gondians are to blame for all of it. A tyrant's nothing without lackeys. And the Gondians are the perfect lackeys. Dangerously intelligent, pathetically submissive. They invented the Steel Watchers, and they're building an army of them. They've always been happy to provide their technology to despots in exchange for a stipend and the freedom to work in peace. They would have licked Saravok's boots, given the chance. And now they'll kiss Gortash's ring while this city screams. I had a plan to put a stop to them. But the way things are now, if we stick our heads above ground, the Watchers are on us like flies on shit. Same as it always is. Eliminate the threat. In this case, the foundry where these atrocities are produced. The Gondians are ingenious, but we're more than equal to them. There's nothing they can build that the Iron Hands can't tear down. I've built something unique for just that purpose. A rune powder bomb. First of its kind. 50 wizards high on the weave couldn't summon this kind of firepower. Get the bomb inside the Gondian facility, and boom. Problem solved.
Wulbrin, please. This is too far. Everyone in the foundry would be killed.
Quiet, Barkus. The adults are talking. It's liberation. The Gondians picked their side the minute they took orders from Gortash. If they had any courage, they'd have refused him and died like heroes, spitting in his face. Now they'll die like the dogs they are.
That's what I've been saying. There may yet be a peaceful solution.
Fine. You want to try flapping your gums in the belly of the beast? Be my guest. But their idea of diplomacy is a steel fist shoved where the sun don't shine. So take the bomb. Just in case I'm right and you're wrong. As long as you see sense, I don't care when you see it. The foundry is in the lower city, down by the docks. Beautiful building, belching smoke into the sky day and night. Getting inside won't be easy, but when you do, place the bomb at the heart of the facility. Get yourself back to street level. The streets will be clear of watchers in no time.
A rune powder bomb? Huh. What the devil has he become? The Wyrm I know. The one who skipped rocks with me in the Underdark. He's still in there. I know it. But his hate for the Gondians has blinded him. He believes they work for the Absolute willingly. But it's not true. I'm sure of it. Something is wrong. Very wrong. Please, speak to them before you do anything. They deserve a chance to plead their case before being blown to pieces, don't you think? That's all I ask. Questions first, violence later. And only if absolutely necessary.
Now you've spoken to the big man, good to see you. Never thought I'd meet you again, let alone fight on the same side. Glad we both made it out of Grimforge alive, and that I didn't have to use that rune powder to make a point. I overheard you're going to be helping us fight the good fight. Knew I would have regretted blowing you up. Better get on with it then. Wyrm wouldn't have put his trust in you for nothing.
We should go. I do not want to face the Master if we're late for his Black Mass.
Soon, sister. I only need one more mark.
We have enough for the Master. No more are needed.
It's not for the Master, it's for me. I spent 100 years eating rats and dogs, but soon I'll be able to feast. I want someone there, ready for me. And once the Mass is done, and our Lord grants us freedom, I can celebrate by drinking them dry.
Cazador promised you your freedom. And you believed him? Ha! You were never burdened with intelligence, Petras. But your load seems especially light these days.
Astarion! It cannot be.
Oh, that's no way to welcome back a brother, doll. Didn't you miss me?
Why would you come back? You got out. You were free.
Isn't it obvious, sister? He wants to ascend with the rest of us. He heard about the ritual and the power our master will grant us, so he came back with his tail between his legs, hoping all would be forgiven.
You always were an idiot, Petras. Where is he hiding? Tell me!
Brother! Please!
You heard them. Tell me what I need to know. Now!
The Master is preparing the Black Mass. Beneath his palace. There's a defiled chapel. It was hidden there the entire time. Hidden from us all.
I'm going to stop Cazador.
What the hell's happened to you, Astarion? What are you?
I'm more than what I was. And I'm not afraid of anything anymore. The sun can't harm me. Cazador can't compel me. I'm the only person who can stop him. Now go, before I change my mind about roasting you, brother.
This isn't over, Astarion.
Poor fools. They actually think Cazador will save them. Yes, and they'll be trembling in fear when they tell him. They're no threat to us. And they have no choice but to do Cazador's bidding. I pity them. Worst of all, they don't know their fate's already set. They're doomed. The only question is whether their lives will be sacrificed to a monster like Cazador, or serve a greater purpose. 7 sigils on 7 spawn. And Cazador has the other 6. We have to face him and take that power for ourselves. Well, yes, technically, only I will ascend and gain the ritual's power. But we're a team. If I become all-powerful, then we become all-powerful. We are a team, aren't we? You are still with me? All right, let's go. This place stinks of rat blood and despair.
You notice some blood has pooled on the wooden floor. You notice the blood's source. A body hidden under the bed. The corpse regards you lifelessly.
Theon Goldgrind. Murdered by my son.
Charming. She mustn't have nursed him enough as a child. Or too much.
Found his secret. My sweet boy. Why? Killed folk slowly. He liked it. Baldur.
The spell's power wanes. You can ask no more questions.
Queen Vlakith. Skra!
You are a Charlotte, and still you speak my name.
I've seen the captive Orpheus with my own eyes. Spoken to Shestil Kithrak Voss. You lied to us. Enslaved us.
The betrayer Voss lies! I have only a moment, and you, Hasharlak, will listen. We are Githyanki. We move mountains. We snuff out stars. We shake the plains. The traitor Voss has lied to you. The heretic prince would shatter us in an instant. The great dominion shrunk to the head of a pin.
Can this be true? Is the Githyanki prince really a threat to his own people? Or simply a challenge to Vlaakith's rule?
Return to the astral prism. Slay Orpheus the Pretender. Serve me, and I will ascend you. You will be no mere warrior, nor Kithrak. You will be Barta Vlaakith, commander of dragons. My only, my chosen. A final chance. Kneel before me. Make your promise.
Lae'zel's thoughts become yours. The sight of Orpheus looms over her mind. Voss's words echo within it. She means to forever turn her back on Vlaakith.
I gave you my faith, and you called me traitor. I gave you my life, and you ordered your knights to hunt me. I have witnessed too much, and you have given me too little. Finally, I can see. Orpheus will live, and I will hear his creed. This is my word.
Your word is nothing! You are nothing! The Kithraki will bring you. I will tear your flesh from your bones and devour your skull's marrow while you beg for death. I will consume you. I will unmake you.
It is done. There is no going back. As long as the Undying Queen reigns, I am never to soar unbound over the astral sea, never to cross the one in the void. As it should be. Better a short life built on truth than immortality woven of lies. Better to unite the Githyanki under a prince who would free their minds and honor their bodies. So why do I feel so bitter?
Vlaakith has upended Lae'zel's whole existence. Everything she knew to be true, every plan and aspiration she ever held has been painfully ripped away. Lae'zel's bitterness is born of sadness. She is mourning the loss of the person she once was, and can never be again.
How well you've come to know me. But in truth, she didn't take everything. I have what I have gathered for myself. I'm more to a new regent, a new land, and new allies. Vlaakith cannot unmake she who no longer exists. And so, from the old battle cries is birthed another. Shma Salar Orpheus, Ma Stilna Forgin in Yeri. Orpheus's will above all. May the comet blaze my path forward. Orpheus's freedom is my want and my need. To deny his freedom would be to deny my own. There will come a time when I can think about myself beyond the Lich Queen who enslaves the Githyanki and the prince who would liberate them. But that time won't come until the Prince of the Comet flies again. Vlaakith's left hand and her right. Commander of all dragons, chosen of the Queen Regent. Not since Vlaakith I has a Bart to Vlaakith been anointed. Another empty promise. Only a naive fool would believe otherwise. The kind of fool I was not so long ago. We find Voss at Sheres's caress and retrieve the key to releasing the prince. Orpheus tough Kinazen.
Men, women, children, all barred from entry. A damn travesty. A decade ago, Baldur's Gate would have welcomed any and everyone seeking refuge. Who would take in these souls, if not the Jewel of Baldurin? As long as Gortash is in charge, they'll be left shivering at the gates. All part of the plan, of course. Step 1. Create an army and order it to march on the city. Step 2. Shut the gates in the name of security. Step 3. Bask in the applause. Gortash hasn't made Baldur's Gate safe. He's made it a prison. And when his army breaks through, the people will have nowhere to run. To make this city a safe haven, we'll need to bathe Gortash and his allies in their own blood. I met her twice. The first time, I was a boy of 7 or 8, at a banquet in the Flaming Fist's honor. One look and I was smitten. Chestnut hair that flowed behind her like willow fronds, as she floated from one room to the next as if carried by clouds. The second time, Stelmane was different. Even with the aid of a cane, each step she took was a struggle. Every word she spoke took great physical effort. A stroke victim? I asked Father later. No, he said. A stroke survivor. Not a tragedy, a calculated cruelty. Think about it. My father was tadpoled. Stelmane is dead. The people are frightened and the council's in disarray. To exert control, you must first sow chaos. A tyrant's strategy, as Father would say. These murders aren't random acts. Someone powerful is guiding the killer's hand, and the city is made weaker for it.
Soldier, my engine. It hurts. I think this might be it. Soon. Things burning hotter than I knew it could. But look, we've just about made it to the city. That'll do me. Let's go protect it. Whatever happens after that is between me and the so-called gods. With this heat going, I can't spare the energy to think. I just want to enjoy whatever's left of this life of mine. Anyway, it could be worse. I'm exactly where I'm supposed to be, with who I'm meant to be with. How many people can say that?
We just played host to an undying queen. Oh, and that's without our fine silverware. Lae'zel has courage turning her back on a lifetime's belief. As for us, best we stay out of interplanar politics, I think. Orpheus is on his own. But should Great Vlaakith come to settle a score with Lae'zel, well, I might be convinced to kill her. Undying or not, she was very loud. You think me lonely? In truth, I prefer travel in a small pack such as this. Unburdened by numbers, we're free to act rather than react. A little like the old days. With allies, every bit as peculiar. Give or take a few tadpoles. Would you? In time, then. Perhaps once you found a rocking chair for me to doze off in.
It can't have been easy for Lae'zel to stand up to Vlaakith like that. But there's nothing that woman can't do.
Hi. It's me, Yenna. You remember me, right? You were really nice to me before, and, my mum hasn't come back yet. She might come later. I don't think she's coming. Could we maybe stay here?
Only a truly callous heart could refuse. Besides, our little abode could use a child's laughter.
Yes! You've got a fire and everything. I can cook really good. Whatever you want. Thank you, thank you.
Vlaakith's a fearsome one. The sort it's hard to say no to. But Lae'zel said it anyway, to her immense credit. She's choosing truth. She's choosing freedom. For her, for Orpheus, for the Githyanki people. I wish I knew a good Githyanki cheer to celebrate the occasion, but the only gift phrases I've picked up are the sweary sort.
So, Lae'zel's finally seen the light and turned on her mistress. It took a little time, but she got there. Though it's not over yet. Masters rarely let their slaves go without a fight.
I didn't think I'd live to see the day when Lae'zel turned her back on Vlaakith. But all things considered, good for her.
At the ready.
So, it seems that Vlaakith is Lae'zel's queen no longer. That took no small amount of backbone.
A private word would be nice.
Glad to see I'm not the only one on the wrong side of an omnipotent authority figure. Lae'zel did well to break free of Vlaakith's manipulations, though I doubt Vlaakith will let such insubordination go unpunished.
Thy wheel of fate turns ever to the dark. Dost thou require a new ally? Or mayhaps a resurrection instead? The girl has left to hew her own path. She left you a letter. Thou couldst read it, or thou couldst not. Such is the way of autonomy. Hast thou other business?
So Bal's chosen is a doppelganger. I should not be surprised. They have ever been among his favorite servants. Orin is testing you. Either she thinks herself a predator, playing with her food, or she fears what you might do. She spoke to you in a rather familiar fashion. More shapeshifter mind games, I suppose.
Shape-shifting monstrosities of unknown origin. Doppelgangers are unnatural predators. Their latent empathic abilities helping them to know, imitate, and eventually replace their prey.
Exactly. The last time I fought doppelgangers, the Balspawn Sarevok was using them to subvert the city government, aid his rise to power. But Orin, He's more predator than politician, I think. She simply wants to make us feel hunted, isolated. Tell the Lordling that Orin is watching. Seems that Gortash and Orin have had a little falling out. We should leverage that. As you wish.
How did you? Oh, it's you. I must have let my mind wander. Enough for you to wander in. Forgive me. I am drained. Ever since you killed Ketheric and took his Netherstone, the Chosen's control of the brain has been brittle. It's rebelling against Orin and Gortash, fiercely. I suspected that when we took Ketheric's stone, the brain would begin to break free. Those brain quakes confirm that my suspicion was correct. I do not know what happens now when it receives their orders, and I do not dare guess.
You feel the Emperor's fear as if it were your own. An Elder Brain enslaved is one thing. An Elder Brain unleashed will be the end of everything.
Beautiful, isn't it? The mighty Prince Orpheus, contained in submissive slumber. Come. You may as well sit a while, now that you are here. Your company isn't unwelcome. Trying to guard us. The brain is restless. But I am distracted, and my lack of focus is endangering us. I'm haunted by memories. They are relentless. I can think of nothing. No one else. Indeed. Duke Stelmane, or as I knew her, Berlin, when she was alive. You thought you were my first ally. Far from it. I have long sought the allyship of others. It is the only way to succeed. Though my relationship with Berlin was different from my relationship with you. In life, she was my business partner, back when we ran the Knights of the Shield. A difficult task for a mind flayer. Duke Stelmane trusted me, and the city trusted her. I conceived the plot, but Berlin took center stage. It was she who met with the merchants, politicians, and patriarchs. It was she who negotiated deals and signed off on agreements. Her rooms played host to the most important conversations in the city. Together, we brought order to chaos. At its height, everything that happened in that city went through the shield. Through us. I could not have done any of it without her. Just as I cannot do any of this without you. But now, she is gone. I appreciate your understanding. What I feel is deeper than superficial cures can reach, and not entirely unwelcome. Most people think that mind flayers are soulless husks who feel nothing. I am glad you are not most people. You have shown me great empathy. We are closer now. Close enough, I hope, that I can ask you to reconsider your position regarding your physical form. I know it is no easy choice for you, but we will have a far better time ridding the city of Gortash if you accept just a touch of illithidness. Not to mention the Elder Brain itself. Our chances against it greatly improve the more illithid we both are. Another quake. The brain is rebelling again. I need to focus. And so do you.
A weary traveler, battered and bruised, you come for sustenance, no decadence. A mien cool as ice, yet eyes burning hot. Oh yes, I know your bliss. A sturdy dwarf, a leather whip, she gives, you receive. Or have I misjudged you? One of those, are you? There's plenty of room for role play in our establishment. If you have a change of heart and wish to be subdued, it's Fionn you should speak to when she comes back. Well, we've other ways to fill your void. A drink for one, a pair of drow for another. Choose your sin. Murdered! Ye gods, the poor thing! Oh, by the mother of cats, I pray she didn't suffer. I'll miss that face. Else, the regulars will miss her more. They swarmed her like honeybees at the hive. Oh. Losing Fionn slashed a big hole in my coin purse. I should get to replacing her. Sweeting, this is Baldur's Gate. I've seen more murders than a butcher's right eye. There'll be time for tears. Cruel as it is, I must turn my mind to business, or, more precisely, the lack of it.
Damn, Hoots! That new batch burns stronger than a pit fiend's fist.
I'll take that as a compliment.
Take it however you want. But I'll be having my usual from now on. Oh. It's Raphael's favorite misadventurer. Good to see you again. Even if you have put me out of pocket. The boss bet me 5 soul coins you'd reach the city in one piece. He rented a room upstairs in the hope that you'd drop by. He wants to help you save the world. What else? Take your time. Have a drink. Sample the goods. Go see him when you're feeling refreshed.
Come to pay your respects to the real lady of the house, I see. What a clever creature you are. It's your lucky day. I am receiving compliments at this time, and you are most welcome to make an offering. Oh, you are quite correct. I consider them one of my finest features. The unwashed rabble who frequent this establishment have much to learn from your deference, and I must suffer their foibles alone. But they do say a burden shared is a burden halved. Can't you hear from here? They're talking about the new top cat in the criminal underbelly. Go and listen for yourself. As for them personally, one never washes and instead douses himself with rose oil, while the other can't hold his drink. The Drow, 2 of our most popular courtesans. A night with them seems to be rather life-changing, if you can afford it. Of course, they are siblings, but judging from the throngs of clients they draw, most of the city is as disgusting as they are. That's rather a broad topic. We get all sorts here. But there is one frequent visitor whose very presence offends me. He dresses fabulously, but stinks of the hells. Something infernal, to be sure. Abhorrent.
The key to my heart is that. 9 hells! You followed me all the way here? What could you possibly want with me now? What? How? 9 hells? Whatever you think you know, I'm sure some gold would help you to forget. Please don't. What do you want from me? It's not my fault. I was forced to do this. Framed even. They would have killed me if I refused to rig the toys. And they're definitely going to kill me now. I can't tell you. I won't tell you. All right. Just don't hurt me. The teddy bears were an experiment. My greatest invention. A clever little device in their chest allows them to speak. But there's more. Smoke powder. Inside the device. I collect packages from Verloga's fireworks in the lower city and stuff the bears with it. Not because I want to. Because I have to. Otherwise, they'll kill me. It sounds terrible when you put it like that, but maybe you can put a stop to this whole operation. I don't know who's in charge, but it starts at the fireworks shop. That's where the packages come from. Go there. Tell them Uncle Verloga sent you, and they'll show you the smoke powder. Lots of it. There. I told you what you wanted to know. Now, will you let me go?
His plea comes with an offering. A pass granting you access to the lower city.
You can't be serious. They'll find me. A cell won't keep me safe. They run this city. All right, I'll go. But if I'm found hanging in my cell, it'll be on your conscience.
The two men bark softly to each other. A single name reaches your ears. 9 Fingers. It's a name you know. 9 Fingers is the head of the Guild, a criminal organization operating inside Baldur's Gate.
Oh, yeah. Seems everyone's got business with her. Heard the gal met her match.
The new kingpin? All meat and muscle, that one. And wild as a werebear. If he's looking to oust 9 Fingers, my blade's got his back.
Sounds messy as the 9th hell. Must be why she called us to help.
Is that right? The way I heard it, you Zent cut a deal with the new... Hold on. Hey, you still lurking about? I don't remember inviting you to the party. this subject's not safe. You selling your services, beat feet to the Guildhall. Lower City, Basilisk Gate, Guildhall. And that's all you're getting from me. Now scram! The chat's officially closed.
Especially for you.
Trouble.
Another case closed, another bottle open. Huzzah to Valeria! Hang on a tick. I recognize that face. You were talking to Yanis after I left the temple. I'll bet she's put you up to something. Why must you busybodies insist on interrupting a perfectly good night? I know that look. You remind me of Devella. Fine! If you doubt my conclusions, out with it. What have you found? My assistant. She's posted in the lower city investigating Duke Stelmane's murder. Now, back to it. What have you found? A Baal plot? You as well? Devella's been harping on about Baal for months. Fancies herself something of an expert. I assumed it was just a bunch of conspiracy codswallop and fear-mongering. But she's been unusually insistent about this one, even for her. Fine, I'll bite. What's your theory? No need to wave documents at me. I'm already drowning in paperwork as it is. Constable Devella is going to be a real pain in the trunk about this. Since you seem to be on an obnoxiously similar wavelength, why don't you seek her out? She'll be at the Elf Song Tavern. Show her the list, and I'll stay and inform the Fist here. Oh, and you'll need this pass. It'll give you access to the lower city. Well? What are you waiting for? You've a bloody conspiracy to solve. Move!
You must hear me, Devil. I will do whatever it takes. Give you anything you ask.
There is only one thing in this world that I desire. You do not have it. And you never will.
The Kithrak? What deal would he make with this devil?
You must help me, Raphael. For the sake of my people.
Hush now, Voss. These guests may not know it yet, but they want the same thing that you do. And unlike you, they have something of value to offer in return.
Lae'zel, Talak Magir. The devil holds the key to freeing the Gith people. Right here, right now. You could seal our fate. Whatever you discuss with this devil, I must hear of it. Find me below in the tap room, once you're loosed from his claws.
I'm glad you came. Not to my door, not yet, but to the final reckoning. One more thing before we begin, though.
For the first time since the Nautiloid, your mind is clear. It's unsettling.
I gave you back your privacy by shutting that illithid in your pocket out of your mind. It can't hear us.
Huh. What's the catch?
I brought you here because I'm true to my word, and I can make all of this tadpole business go away, which means you and your lovely friends can remain blessedly free of tentacles. Let us speak plain. I'll admit, you've impressed me. I wasn't sure you'd make it this far, but no matter how far you come, you're still on the road to ruin. A road that leads directly to a confrontation with the Elder Brain. At best, it will kill you, and everyone else in this city. At worst, it will assimilate you, and you won't have enough free will left to even wish you were dead. You have the key to destroying it in the palm of your hand, though. Very perceptive. Yes. I can give you the means to break him free.
Speak, devil. We're listening.
The Orphic Hammer. An artifact capable of shattering the chains that hold Prince Orpheus is held securely in my House of Hope, even now. Isn't it just? And it's even more convenient that you can give me exactly what I want in return.
There it is. Of course.
Power. You free Orpheus, and in doing so save the city, the Sword Coast, perhaps the whole world, and your own precious skin too. And you give me the crown that dominates the Elder Brain. And you, Lae'zel of Kalir, want to free the Forgotten Prince, do you not?
I want nothing more.
Then it is settled, is it not? A crown for a hammer. A bargain of a lifetime, Lae'zel of Kalir. Power. Ancient and full of wonder. I have craved it ever since the arch-wizard Karsus created it, long centuries ago, and brought doom to the Empire of Netheril. That was the great age of humanity, and Netheril's flying sky cities were the apex of civilization. I was there the day it all fell apart. Entire cities plummeted from the sky, like angels with broken wings. The screams, oh, the screams. Hundreds of thousands of people watching in horror as the ground came up to meet them. It was not a happy meeting, and Karsus was responsible. Not driven by malice, but by ambition. He forged a crown imbued with all the powers of magic. A crown that would make any who wore it a god. Men cannot contain so much power. The crown destroyed its creator, and his empire fell with him. Karsus's folly, the bards and scholars call it. I call it hope. The hope of creating a better world. And the perils of unchecked hubris. I knew then that the folly of mortals could be the triumph of devils, and that I could use that crown to unite the Nine under one Archdevil Supreme. Me.
Zariel wouldn't like that much. But even I'm not so desperate to spite her I'd put the hells in this bastard's hands.
The hells require order to function. It is what separates us from mortals and demons. With the crown, I would impose perfect order, unity, efficiency, control. My kingdom would control its borders and stay within them. Hidden. The archdevil Mephistopheles snatched up the crown and squirreled it away in one of his vaults. He is not more than a frigid archivist. So much power and potential kept inert. He made a miracle into a museum piece. I raged. But only for a decade or so. Then I waited, ever watching for more than 1,000 years. For a mistake, a mishap, a misadventure. And these chosen, who have caused you so much trouble accidentally, did me a favor. They brought the crown back into play. Through the aid of a diabolist, somebody capable of opening a portal to the Hells, deep in the Hells. They must have raided Mephistopheles' vault. Impressive, I must admit. But they'll be dead soon. If you don't kill them, the Elder Brain will. It doesn't have feelings in the way you'd understand them. But it seems rather angry. It is inevitable. When you destroy the brain, and you will because you must, the crown will be yours for the taking. And when that moment comes, you give the crown to me. In exchange, I give you the hammer now.
A simple transaction, it seems, but it's more than that. He's offering you an alternative to the mind flayer in your head. Take Raphael's deal and you could free Orpheus. With Orpheus free, you would have no need to rely on the Emperor. But there's no guarantee that Orpheus would be on your side. And if you take the deal, you'll have to fulfill it. You'll have to deliver the crown of Karsus to the devil himself. He claims his ambition is to unite the Hells, but can he be trusted to stop there? Do you trust him more than you trust the Emperor?
Skvar! We should do as the devil asks. The Prince of the Comet must rise again.
How short-sighted. Much better to put it into the right hands. Hands that will ensure it is removed from this world. And it's the only way you can ensure that you remain part of this world.
What? You can't be serious.
Right here. You'll find everything is in order. The moment I have your signature, you will have the means to free Orpheus. The hammer. You guarantee the crown will be mine once the brain is defeated, and I swear that I will never use the crown to dominate a mortal. I will come to collect. If you refuse to give me the crown, I collect your souls instead. And then we all gather in the House of Hope. Me dressed in my finest silks, you skinless, hanging from a hook to watch as your world dies. Perfect. One more rhyme, for old time's sake. The master was slain within his own house. They dined on him both, the cat and the mouse. The hammer is yours. You will find yourself in Orpheus's presence before the end comes. When you do, shatter the chains that hold him. Be sure to keep the hammer safe until then. Your survival depends on it. And I'll keep your contract safe in my house of hope. I'll be seeing you, and when I do, we dine.
The ink has barely dried, yet you feel a growing disquiet at what exactly you just signed. Perhaps a diabolist can offer some comfort, or a way out. For a devil's bargain is a hard one to break.
I'd sooner have imagined shattering a planet with my bare fist than taking a deal with a devil. But we shouldn't regret the bargain, not for one instant. Raphael can have his crown, if it means breaking Prince Orpheus free. The Emperor can't shut us out forever. The closer the Elder Brain, the closer we come to facing Orpheus in his own prison. Now, to the Chares's Caress taproom. We must tell Voss the news.
In here I thought you had half a brain. How wrong I was. You signed a deal with Raphael. What were you thinking? 'Cause why would a devil ever lie to you? It wasn't the only way. It was the only way Raphael told you about. He just wanted to get you under his thumb. And it worked. As long as he has that contract, he owns you. I won't allow that. Think again. We're getting that contract back. You heard him, right? It's in his god's awful House of Hope. We need to find a way in. I swore I'd never return to the Hells. But for your soul, I'll make an exception. Just this once. We need to find a diabolist. If we can find one worth their salt, they should be able to get us into that devil's lair. I'm getting in, getting your contract, and then I'm never setting foot in the Hells again.
I don't care what he's offering. I wouldn't have been so quick to sign with the devil. Then again, it's not my name on the page, so what should I care?
There you are. I thought I'd lost you. Something was blocking me from hearing your thoughts. Raphael. Well, thank you for your honesty. Of course, I should have known the devil would come sniffing. The stench of impending chaos is irresistible to them. And what did he want with you? How very gumptious of him. What were the terms of this deal? I see.
You feel the touch of the Emperor's mind peeling at the edge of yours, trying to gain access. Its thoughts slide into yours, turning through them like fingers, sifting for answers, which it finds.
You promised him the crown. I was absent for 1 moment. If there is one thing you can be certain of, it's that the devil will come to collect. But that is your problem. I will not let you put our survival at risk. I have Orpheus well under control. Stay away from him. Now come. We have an Elder Brain to destroy.
Pleasure house. Den of decadent delights.
Voss, friend to the Comet.
Lae'zel of Kalir, warrior of warriors. Tell me you took the Devil's deal. Tell me you will free Gith's heir.
So quick to share it with him. This is not wise.
The Prince of the Comet is not dead. The Prince of the Comet will come again. The Prince of the Comet will liberate us from the Lich Queen's tyranny. Can it be? Will the mighty Prince Orpheus soon illuminate the astral plane?
Gith's son will soon ride against Vlaakith, Voss, and I will follow him into battle.
And you will wield the greatest gift Mother Gith ever granted her dauntless children.
A silver sword. I will carry it for the honor of Gith, the great liberator, and her unforgotten son.
Istik, now that you have the hammer, you must find a way to enter the astral prism. Once inside, smash Orpheus's bonds. His cry will shake the plains, and I will fly to your aid. The Prince of the Comet will sear the heavens again. Let the Lich Queen tremble.
Think again. I will not permit your entry. No, there is not.
Questions, Istik? You seem to be lost in thought. Yes, but you will meet this challenge, as you've met so many others. The Prince of the Comet aches for Githyanki liberation more than he abhors Geich. He might seethe when you free him. He might gnash his teeth and slander your name. But he will see reason. I promise you.
Since I was old enough to hold a blade, I've dreamt of wielding a silver sword. The swords cleave both meat and mind, body and brain. To swing one, mesmerizing. To be slain by one, agonizing. Everyone I bleed with the sword will be my tribute to Prince Orpheus.
You recall another fact about silver swords. The Githyanki forbid their use by all other peoples.
Only Gith's children may wield swords of silver, unless a Githyanki grants the right in exceptional circumstance. The Illithid Grand Design nears. The true heir is shackled. These are exceptional circumstances. I grant my allies the right to my silver. A Kithrak's silver sword is more than a weapon. It is an extension of your will, an entire limb unto itself. You merely need to think strike, and it strikes. The sword carves the correct path, and carries your arm with it. The ancient slates tell us that each sword holds a fragment of the living gate, a flesh portal made from the stuffs of nightmare.
The terrible living gate, thinner than a lamb's hair and hidden deep beneath the Feywild.
The silver injures the body. The gate's flesh injures the mind. A formidable weapon against Geich. Certainly not, or the Prince's honor guard would have already fractured his prison. To break Orpheus free, we will need the Orphic Hammer. Very well.
You'll have to forgive me, but I'm struggling to understand why you'd agree to just hand over the crown. Especially for a bloody hammer. I'm glad to hear it. But you realize we can't just tell him we changed our minds. For now, our plan must remain the same. We go to Sorcerer's Sundries and learn about that crown. And pray the devil doesn't get there first.
Dancing axe.
Greetings, sir. Your noble bearing brings a little class to my humble...
You can turn off the charm, Entharl. She's with me.
Blueberries. Thought I had a sale. You look tired, Harper.
I missed you too. They're already here?
Down below. Here's the key. Ha! Clearly you do not know our Harper Most High.
I wouldn't say that. We've traveled a long road together in a short time. The others will be taking their ease here. Entharl has been known to shelter Harpers when they need it.
Entharl has been known to charge rent. Harpers have been known to ignore him. Now go on. The short father may send me an actual paying customer today. To buy? You're already my favorite.
Hi, Harper. May Seluna's tears shine on this meeting.
A very formal greeting, Geraldus. You are well?
Yes. Hi, Harper. Standing beneath Seluna's tears.
The lad's a little nervous, Jaheira. We heard of your great victory against Ketheric.
Geraldus isn't nervous. He's terrified. And he's using Seluna's tears as some kind of code.
I understand, Geraldus. Take a moment. And you, Harper. There is something familiar about you. Doesn't she remind you of our old friend Marcus?
Jaheira's meaning is clear. Marcus was a traitor laying a trap. The same, it seems, is happening here.
I have not been overly generous with the truth. I came here to learn of the Chosen, true enough. But I set my Harper searching for someone else, too. Tell me, what do you know of a man named Minsk of Rashiman?
Oh my god! Minsk!
Your ruined brain lurches and bilious intestines squirm. A hero, an enemy most foul.
Whatever blow to the head has addled your thoughts, take comfort. You and Minsk have that in common. Minsk is an old friend. Perhaps my oldest. We've fought at one another's backs times beyond counting. And the last time I saw him, I left him to die. There always is. But that is still the fundamental fact of it. Before we ever heard of this Absolute, we received word of a gathering in the Undercity. What we found was the first dark seed of this plot. A circle of cultists with mind flayers in their midst. We might have ended it there, cut off at the root, but before I could send for help, Minsk charged in alone. It was chaos. He was overrun, dragged down beneath a mass of tentacles. I had a choice. Stay and let word of this cult die with us, or leave him and live to fight another day. The world takes much from those who presume to defend it. But sometimes, you get to take it back. So don't be sorry, because I mean to use you, if you're willing. Infection, indoctrination, eradication. That has been the fate of everyone the cult has captured so far. But it has not been yours. With your help, perhaps it need not be Minsk's either. As simply as that? For no other reason than that I asked? Perhaps you two will get along. Oh, the point is moot without the means to find him. Without the Harpers, we shall have to find another path. I'll have a better idea of what that is once we're through the gates. Seems I need to reacquaint myself with this damned city.
Did I get it right?
Selune's tears. It is said no false face can stand beneath their light. An old code, Harper. But yes, you got it right. Now I need your report.
We had eyes on suspected cultists in the city, like you asked. We thought we were tracking them, but...
They were tracking you instead, evidently. Doppelgangers.
And they're not just working with the cult, High Harper. They're part of it. Ballists, I think.
Sworn to Orin the Red, yes. We've already had the pleasure. Go on.
Everything seemed fine until your latest orders. Until we started to search for the Rashomar. They struck the same night. I woke to one of them strangling Chelvin, while smiling at me out of her face. She said... It said... that I'd report back to you as normal. Lure you here, and... I had no choice!
I'm sure it felt that way, Geraldus. The others were likely dragged back to Orin. Tortured. Sacrificed. I do not expect you to die for me. But to risk Entharl, any citizen who might have wandered in, there is always a choice. And the Harper must be able to make the hard ones. Perhaps this isn't the life for you after all, Geraldus.
No, Jaheira! High Harper, please! I'm still a Harper. I want to help!
You've scarcely signed up, boy. And there is a war coming. Why die a Harper, when you could still live as anything else?
I want to fight. For Chelvin. For all of them. So it means something.
Death is death. To look for meaning in it is foolishness, boy. Childish storybook nonsense. Exactly the kind the Harper would spout, I suppose. Fine. I have no right to make the choice for you. Not when this mess is of my making. I sent the Harpers hunting after the cult, without thinking what it would mean to be hunted in turn. Now they are compromised. And if not for you, I wouldn't even know it. I'm sorry, Geraldus. Harper. And I owe you an apology as well. I haven't told you everything I hope to learn here today. First, Geraldus, you're the last Harper in the city I can rely on. Lay low and rest while you can. I have matters to discuss with my friend here. Yes? There might be, but... it's not a path I tread until we must. Let it wait until the city proper. Perhaps I'll have had a better idea by then.